Hey everyone, how's it going? Welcome to the channel, and I'm here for another video of worst songs from each album. Now for this video, I'll be going over the Breaking Benjamin discography and choosing the worst song from each album based on my opinion, of course. Now Breaking Benjamin, if you don't know, were one of the first bands that I've ever gotten into, so I do have some nostalgia for this band. So Breaking Benjamin, they don't have that many albums, so we could probably get through this pretty quick. So, of course, we'll start off with Saturate, their debut album, and some people might say it's rather hard to choose a weakest track on the album because this album doesn't really have any bad songs per se, but if you had to make me choose a least favorite, I would probably go with Skin. Never really been the biggest fan of this one, to be honest. This is kind of a throwaway track for me. I believe one of the members of Breaking Benjamin actually said that this is their least favorite on the album too. And yeah, I don't know what it is about it. I mean, it's not terrible, but it's just not as good as the other songs on the album, at least in my opinion. So, Skin, that's my pick for Saturate. Next, We Are Not Alone. And this one is actually kind of easy for me because this does have Breaking Benjamin's worst song, in my opinion, that song being Rain. So obviously you know that my pick for this album will be Rain. Now, I've heard some people say that they like this song, but there's also people that don't like it. I'm kind of in the side that doesn't really like it that much. As a matter of fact, I do think that it is the worst Breaking Benjamin song ever, honestly. And I do think that this is their weakest album. There is some songs in the second half that don't really have strong replay value, but Rain has to be my pick for We Are Not Alone. Next, Phobia. Now this is where it kind of gets a little tough because we start getting into the best work from Breaking Benjamin, and in my opinion this is probably their best album. However, if you had to make me choose a least favorite, I would probably go with You Fight Me. Now, that's a good song. It is. But this is one of those albums where it's like, you know, it's just really difficult to choose a least favorite from this album. But I'd probably go with You Fight Me as the weakest track on the album. Not a bad song, but just kind of pales in comparison to all the other songs that are on the album. You know, because this album, I think, is Breaking Benjamin's best. So, You Fight Me. Next, we got Dear Agony. This is an album that definitely means a lot to me. This was actually the first album that I've ever listened to, basically, or the first album I've ever really got into, or whatever. However you want to say it, but this is a pretty solid album, though. Definitely one of their best. Choosing a least favorite is kind of easy for me. Hopeless. Never really been the biggest fan of this one personally. Now, I've seen some people say that Into the Nothing is the weakest track on the album, but I actually think that song is kind of underrated. I don't mind that song at all, actually. I think that's one of the better tracks on the album. But Hopeless, for me, it's got to be the weakest. Again, just, it's not terrible, but just not as good as the other songs. It's just, I don't know what it is about it. I think it's just kind of standard Breaking Benjamin in a way. And it's also kind of edgy. Now, Breaking Benjamin, they can be a pretty edgy band at times, don't get me wrong, but this song in particular, I feel like they really took the edginess on another level, I guess you could say. But Hopeless, that has to be my pick. Next, Dark Before Dawn. Now, this one is also a bit tough because, well, I mean, there's not really much I can complain about on this album. Now, if you were to ask me what my least favorite song would have been back when the album came out, I probably would have told you Breaking the Silence, but that song has actually grown on me a little bit. But I don't know if it's one of my favorites still, but it's pretty good. Now, for my least favorite, I'd probably go with Bury Me Alive. Now, there was a time where I actually really liked this song, but over time it's kind of grown off of me. It's not terrible, but I guess I'm just not crazy about the way Ben is delivering the vocals in this song. I feel like there's some kind of vocal effects that are used in this song that are, I don't know, I'm just not really a big fan of. It's not a terrible song, but it is probably my least favorite on the album. So Bury Me Alive. Finally, with their last studio album, Ember. Now, this one is kind of easy for me. I'd go with The Dark of You. Now, I feel like some people, when it comes to this album, they would have chose Down as the weakest, but I actually don't mind that song as much. But with The Dark of You, I mean, obviously it's very different. This is a song that I do remember a lot of people having a lot of high expectations for, myself included. I was really looking forward to hearing that song whenever Ember first got announced and whatnot. But, you know, the thing is with that song is it's just kind of boring to me, kind of similar to Rain, just kind of boring and nothing really attention-grabbing, I guess. I believe this one does have a guest singer on it, which is pretty cool, I guess. I mean, I'm not too familiar with the guest singer, but either way, it's okay. It's an okay song, but it is easily my least favorite on the album, for sure. So there you have it. So I go with The Dark of You. Well, there you have it. Those are my picks for the worst songs from each Breaking Benjamin album. Let me know what you think. Now, some people could argue that Breaking Benjamin has never released a bad song, which is a fair argument. You could make that argument for sure, but I mean, I guess that's one of the things that kind of makes these types of videos challenging, and that's why I like doing these types of videos, you know, to really challenge myself, you know. So there you have it. Those are my picks for the worst songs from each album from Breaking Benjamin. Let me know what you think. Thanks for watching. Have a nice day. Take care.